Did you know that every 4 minutes somebody is diagnosed with some type of blood cancer? Well, according to the 2009 article on the facts and statistics sheets of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, in 2009, over 140,000 people were diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, or myeloma, which are all types of blood cancers. So you're wondering to yourself, why I'm talking about cancer. Well, because your cells in your body, especially the red blood cells that carry oxygen throughout the body, white blood cells which fight infection, and platelets which help with clotting in case you cut yourself, either become abnormal, too many, or too little during radiation or chemotherapy for cancer treatment. Also, the cells can become abnormal with certain different immune disorders like lupus, which is an autoimmune disease, or sickle cell anemia, where the red blood cells become very thick and sickled. So that is why a stem cell transplant may help with these types of disorders or types of cancers. So what are stem cells, and also why are they important? Well, according to the article in medicine.net on stem cell transplant, although unremarkable in appearance, stem cells are a biological type of resurrection type of process. They can go on forever. They can become many different cells that the body needs to survive. Certain cells in your body, other ones, they can only reproduce so many times and they eventually die. So that is why it's so exciting with research and stuff that this is ongoing. A stem cell transplant is a procedure where stem cells are put back in your blood. Stem cells are found in bone marrow, the spongy part of it, and also in peripheral blood, which is where they draw blood from, and also umbilical cords of newborns. Also, too, once the stem cells are transplanted into the body, they tend to go into the bone marrow and start growing into new cells. They also may turn healthy cells that were damaged into might replace the damaged cells of damaged cells. They also may decrease symptoms that your disease, or the healthy cells may also help kill cancer. And you may less likely get cancer again. You receive these stem cells either from yourself, a donor, or an identical twin. Now we're going to talk about the different type of stem cells. An adult stem cell transplant is bone marrow stem cells, and those are rich in marrow. They are usually found, a lot of them, in the hip bones of a person. It is according to Mayo Clinic in July 8th of this year that bone marrow, its main job is to make cells that circulate in your body and immune cells to fight infection. It is the best known stem cell transplant today because the bone marrow has a rich supply of these cells. And then the next one is peripheral blood, which I don't have, but I'm showing you. It has the white blood cells, red blood cells, and the platelets. They, even though according to the article on emedicine.net on hemotopic stem cell transplantation, normally there are very few in the body, but a couple days before the donor is going to donate their blood, they give them a growth-induced factor, like a growth hormone, to boost that. And within a few days of harvesting these cells, and then it causes the stem cells to grow faster and move to the bone marrow, into the blood. The next one is umbilical cord transplant, which is one of the newer ones, and there's a lot of research going on that. It is taken from the umbilical cords of babies. When the baby is inside the womb, that is their main living source. But after, traditionally, the umbilical cord you don't use, so they've discarded it. They have found out that it is very rich in stem cells, like bone marrow. according to Learned Genetics of Utah and the March of Dimes. But like bone marrow, it's very rich in blood-forming cells. These cells are not embryonic. That means it does not belong to an embryo. Also, cord blood stem cell transplants are less prone to rejection than either bone marrow or peripheral blood. That's probably because the stem cells have not developed the features that can be recognized and attacked by the recipient's body. Also because the umbilical cord lacks well-developed immune cells too. In conclusion, a bone marrow stem cell transplant is perhaps the best known transplant today, and peripheral blood stem cell transplant, even though there are very few, but by giving them a growth-like hormone, they can be used like bone marrow to treat cancers and other, and it's less invasive. You get it from the blood. Umbilical cord stem cell transplant is rich in blood cells and lacks well-developed immune cells, and there's less chance of rejection. Some of the potential uses of stem cells will be in further research for stroke, traumatic brain injury, Alzheimer's disease, so it's pretty ongoing. It's pretty exciting too. And my final conclusion is that life is precious, and if you value your life or that of your loved one, that maybe you should be a donor. Thank you. Bye-bye.